You might wonder why I look different in the picture. Because I studied so hard, maybe I turned into a middle-aged man with glasses. No, just a minor blip, but that's okay. I have a question for you, actually. And the question is this. Have you ever been stuck trying to solve a problem in your life? Just, you're doing everything you can, working on an issue, but there's no effect. You just don't feel like you're moving forward. Well, if you have, or you might have had a friend who's gone through this, it might be, usually, but not always, but it might be because you're dealing with the consequences of the problem. Let me elaborate. I mean, we're here at Dilijan, so let's have a mind game. Imagine you have a house in Dilijan with your own plot of land, probably. And on this plot of land, you have a bunch of trees, but you just bought this house, so you have to take care of the trees, right? And some of them need healing. And without really even walking through your garden or thinking about the issue, without examining the trees, you start cutting off the trees, the leaves and the branches right away. And then you wonder, why is it that the tree is still sick? And this might be, my friends, if we take a step back, is because when you have a tree, first and foremost, you have the roots. And sometimes you really have to get grounded. You really have to go down on the ground and look at the roots and check out whether the tree is maybe dehydrated, maybe there's pests, insects. Maybe some roots are dry and need to be cut out. And only then you start healing a tree. Then you figure out your next steps, right? Whether to water your tree more, whether to add pesticides on it, etc., etc. And if you ignore this process, what happens is you spend a ton of time and effort on an issue without resolving it. So this whole method that I am kind of promoting here is called the Tree of Life, and we're going to go on a journey on how to solve your problems naturally. But keep this in mind, working with the roots. And just another step back on how did I get to this point of discovering the Tree of Life, and how can we all apply it in our own lives. So I've been in education for the last 10 years, formal and non-formal. Currently, I am a curriculum methodist and teacher for the Armenian military, working both with soldiers and officers, but I've also had a ton of experience working with middle schoolers, high schoolers, college students. And the most common thing I have in a classroom is there's always at least one person at the back who's sleeping. And what does an average teacher do when someone's sleeping in the classroom? They either call them out, or they call them names, or they let them out. You know what I mean? So I knew there wasn't a solution, and I don't like that. And I don't think that the student sleeping is the problem. Let me elaborate. What happens is I wait till the end of the classroom, the student comes close, and then I ask them, hey, what's up? What's been going on? Why were you sleeping? So I'm starting to dig, and my shovel is the question why. Why were you sleeping? Well, I was tired. I didn't really get enough sleep. Okay, but you know how there's like roots on the ground, and then there's like more stuff under the ground? So I'm digging more. Another shovel. Why? So why were you not sleeping all night? Usually with this generation, it's either I've been playing Fortnite all night with my squad mates on Discord, or binge watched Wednesday or whatever people watch nowadays. But so, okay, you've been doing that. Why have you spent so much time on the digital media, right? Whatever. You've been escaping something. What's going on? And then I ask a couple more whys. Usually, but not always, it might be, I'm having difficulties at home. It might be because your parents are arguing, or your parents are putting extra pressure on you, or maybe it's the complete opposite. You're getting neglected. So your escape becomes these channels, these mediums. So if initially I was going to reprimand the students and try to deal with their problem of sleeping, instead what I'm doing is, now I realize, okay, so I guess I have to have a conversation with the parents but I also have to take care of the student and try to accommodate them, understand where this is coming from. So I went back to the roots. Another interesting story. This one you might not relate to as much. If anyone has ever been to Cascade, this is where the title of the speech came. If you've ever been to Cascade, at the end of the stairs, there's the long obelisk, right? The tall monument. And you see there, I always thought it was a leaf, the yellow thingy. No, turns out it's the Tree of Life. Because I went to the Erebuni Museum in the OG Yerevan, as you call it. That was the original Yerevan. It's a castle and like some peasants around, but mostly the castle. So what happened was, turns out Armenian kings used to have the Tree of Life on everything, on all of their insignia. That was kind of like their Nike logo back then, so, but they had variations of it. So the Tree of Life was an inspiration for me, and I was trying to understand how can we go back to the roots. So just to sum all of this up, the Tree of Life, if you only focus on the leaves and on the branches, you're going to spend a ton of effort, you're going to spend a ton of energy, and you're not going to get anywhere. Instead, get grounded. The Tree of Life is a method you can use absolutely with about any problem you have in your life. It's a symbol of life, but to get connected with life, you have to get connected with reality, and the only way to connect with reality is to actually touch the ground, to touch the roots. So I hope the Tree of Life can help you with your problems, so you will be able to solve them naturally. And I thank you for your time, and have a good day.